DECAP.
There is another video I want to show you guys. I had someone hit me up on chat asking me about selling beats. And I don't sell beats. It's just not something I do. But I figured for any of you guys in here that do sell beats, this was a helpful video by a friend of mine named Ed Talenti, who talks about 5 tips on selling beats online.
What's up everyone, this is Ed Talenti. How are you guys doing? So about a year and a half ago, Jesus, it's been a long time, I made a video which was like one of my first videos here on YouTube where I said that I made $1,000 in the first month selling beats online. I'm gonna put it right here. Check it out. It's really cringy because I hate that video. But nonetheless, that video was a really important milestone in my YouTube online producer career. So of course, since then, a lot of stuff has changed, not only my personal path, my personal career, but also in the environment, the community. The way that things work right now is very different than how it was 2 years ago. So during this time, I obviously tried a bunch of different things, different strategies, different ideas, different techniques, just different stuff. And I've learned a lot. I tried some things that didn't work so well. I tried some other things that worked really well and I'm still doing right now. I just tried a bunch of stuff and I'm here to share with you guys today 5 of the things that I wish I knew when I started back then. I wish I knew these things when I shot that video 2 years ago. I wish I could tell myself those things. So I'm here to share them with you and hopefully give you some interesting stuff to think about. Make sure to watch the video all the way through because at some point in the video I have a little present for you guys. And also just don't miss any of the tips because even the last ones are just as good as the first tips. Don't miss them. All right, let's get into it. Tip number 1, don't focus on money, focus on visibility. This took me forever to learn, especially when you need money, when you're trying to get that first sale, when you're trying to just monetize what you've been doing so hard, what you've been investing your time into. I started realizing that really focusing on the money aspect brought me to make the wrong decisions. What I realized at some point is that the thing that's most important, the thing that really takes your career to the next level is not so much money, but it's visibility. Visibility is also going to bring money, but it's also going to bring a lot of other stuff, and it's just a better goal to have for yourself. This doesn't only apply to beat sales and stuff like that. It kind of applies to everything that you do. Just putting your work in front of as many people as possible means that there are more people that are going to be interested in what you're doing. It means that it's going to be a higher percentage of them because the numbers are bigger that are gonna turn eventually into customers of some kind or just fans. The moment I stopped thinking about money and I started thinking about visibility, how can I get my work in front of more people than I am right now? That was the moment, the point in time where I really started to change my career, money-wise and just in general.
What he's saying here is don't focus on money as your end goal, focus on visibility as your end goal. When you focus on money, you're limiting your results. You're trying to turn it into a transaction. When you focus on visibility, you're just getting it out there. And assuming your beats are great, lots of people will see them. Another thing I want to add to this, on top of visibility, focus on value. Anytime you can focus on giving your audience maximum visibility and value, when you're focused on how you can get money, you're trying to get something. When you're focused on giving, you're focused on releasing energy. And when you put out energy, it's going to attract energy to come back to you. And then you can figure out how to monetize it. Instead of focusing on getting, focus on giving. And I like what he says about visibility too.
To some of you it might seem obvious, but think about it like this. If you have 100 people, out of 100 people, 1 person turns into a customer, 10 people turn into fans. If you turn that 100 people into 1,000 people, now you have the 1 customer turned into 10 customers, and you have the 10 fans to turn into 100 fans. And if you keep going with the numbers, you can see that the percentage stays the same, but the numbers get higher and higher. So yeah, long story short, don't focus so much on money, focus on creative ways to put your work in front of as many people as possible. All right, here we go with tip number 2, which is niche down and identify your customer avatar. What am I talking about? To keep it very simple, it basically means identify who you're talking to. Who is the person that you're talking to? Who is the person that's most likely to become a fan or a customer, whatever it is that you're looking for. For example, try to imagine 2 equally talented producers. One of them has a whole brand, his sound, everything that he does is centered around a more younger audience, a little pump type B. He's got lean on everything and a bunch of cartoons and stuff like that. That's gonna attract a certain type of person compared to somebody else that has a different type of brand with a more mature look and just maybe more old school beats or something like that. That's gonna attract a different type of person. So there's no better or worse when it comes to this, and my personal advice, something that I learned, is not to try and chase what's cool right now, but more try to really understand what you want to do and what you stand for. If you chase something that you don't really feel connected to, eventually you're going to get sick of it, you're not going to like it, and it's just going to come off as like fake and not really genuine. If you're doing something that's yours, something that comes from what you genuinely like, and it really reflects the person that you are, then it's going to just come off better, it's going to be more genuine, and you're going to be able to do it for a long period of time without hating it, basically.
What he's saying here is to focus on who your ideal customer is. Start to develop that profile. Know who you're marketing to. If it's a little pump type beat, you know, you're going to want to do cartoons and lean and all that kind of stuff. But if it's something more old school beats or something like that, it's going to be more mature or whatever. Bottom line is focus on making the music you want to make and then having the imagery and the marketing to attract those people towards you.
So yeah, figure out what your niche is and just try to kind of like focus on that one thing. All right, tip number 3. You guys always ask about this one. Free stuff is okay, but if you do it with purpose. Let me explain this a little bit. So when you talk about free stuff, people are just imagining like you put all this work into something, you put your love and you put your best art into it, and then you just give it away for free. You're like, bye, you never see it again, and that's the end of it. In 2020, that kind of thing doesn't really work anymore. It might have worked in the past because there wasn't as much competition and it was just like easier. You could actually carve out a niche of like out of free beats. But in this day and age, just giving stuff away for free with no like purpose at all, it's actually pretty counterproductive. Don't get me wrong, giving stuff away for free, it's a really good method to like build some like hype around your stuff and just kind of get your name out there, especially at first, but even like later on. When I say give stuff away but with purpose, I'm talking about like try to find things that are gonna help you in the long run. For example, the quickest thing that you can do is put out a free beat or a free pack of beats, and for every person that downloads them, they have to give you your email. So they just put their email on a little website, they get their free beats. Now you have emails, so they didn't pay you with money, but they still gave you something, which is an email address. With that email address, you can build an email list, you can do a bunch of things, give them discounts and just try to like talk to them. You can do a bunch of stuff with email addresses, but that's just a quick example of what you can do. Another quick example is a free for a follow. For example, this is built into Beasters if you have an account there. Let's say you have a beat and you're giving it out for free, but the person, in order to download it, they have to follow you on, let's say, Twitter or whatever. This way, the person that gets the beat doesn't have to spend any money, they don't have to commit to anything like too intense, but you are getting a new follower on a social media of your choice.
What he's saying is focus on giving away something for free. The benefit of this is it's free exposure, and also another thing that you can leverage from it is getting an email from the customer. Once you have the email, you can develop a relationship. I think giving away free stuff is another good opportunity when you're trying to sell beats.
Number 4, this is a really like big topic, and I actually want to make a whole separate video just about this. But I'm just going to kind of give you a little preview here. There are a lot of ways to monetize what you do. As a creative in 2020, there are really no excuses why you shouldn't be making any money off of it. There are so many different opportunities for people that do anything creative. We're talking about music, but this could apply to anything that you can do, like painting or drawing, whatever it is. When we talk about making a living in like the producer community, people immediately think of 3 things. The first one is I'm gonna sell a ton of beats and make a bunch of money. The second one is I'm gonna become a huge YouTuber. And the third one is I'm gonna become a big producer in the industry and produce for Drake. And sure, those are totally fine as like long-term goals. If that's what you're chasing, that's fine. But in the short term, like right now, there's definitely something that you can monetize, like today. So think about all the little skills that you have. Think about anything. Like there's people that make a living like with mixing, making artworks, making sample packs. There are so many different things, and you can combine them all together and put together a little income that allows you to do this full time and then just get better, get bigger, and just improve on every aspect.
Another thing is just monetize whatever you can. He's saying on top of selling beats, monetize whatever you can. If you do mixing work, put your work out there that you do mixing and have people hire you to do mixing work. Make a sample pack. Get creative. Think about what you can do that is in demand and have people hire you to do those skills.
Take a look at yourself, take a look at your skills or skills that you kind of have and you could get better at pretty quickly, and don't just focus all your effort on like, let's say, selling beats, because that's one thing out of like a million different things that you can do, and if everybody does the same thing, a small percentage of them are going to succeed and a smaller percentage of them are going to actually do well with it. Since day one, I heard people saying that it was impossible to make a living online because there's too many producers, the market is saturated, there's just too much stuff. It's not necessarily true. The market is saturated to me simply means that there are too many people doing the same thing. So it doesn't mean that there are too many people, period. It just means that they're all doing the same exact thing. If you do something different, you carve your own niche like we talked about it earlier, you can definitely make a living online in 2020 and moving forward, and probably for the rest of like the foreseeable future. This is a topic that I think about a lot, so I'm definitely gonna make a video, like a more in-depth video just on like ways to make money for beginner producers. So I hope you're excited for that. But for now, I just wanted to give you kind of a little just a little something. All right, and here we go with the last tip of the day, number 5, and it's invest in your brand and your personality just as much as you invest in your music. I kind of talked about this a little bit in the first video that I made a couple of years ago, but now I have a much clearer understanding of what that actually means. Doing this profession for real, now that I've been doing it for like a year and a half, it's all about having all these different skills. It's about being good at music. That's like requisite number 1. If you don't have that, then you gotta take care of that first. Once you have the music though, you gotta start thinking of everything that's around the music, the branding, the way you present that music, and the type of content that you make around that music. Let me give you a quick example just to make it a little more straightforward. So let's say I show up at your door and I have 2 packages in my hands, right? In this hand I have this beautiful crafted package. It's just like beautiful to look at. They're both like sealed packages and you don't know what's inside, but the package is just amazing. In the other hand, I have this really ugly package. It's just horrible. It's just bad colors. It's all broken. It's just all like bleh. It's just bad. Now I'm in front of your door and I'm like, here, one of these is for you. You have to pick one off of my hand. Which one are you gonna pick? You're gonna probably pick the pretty package. You don't know what's inside either of them. So the pretty package might have a piece of poop inside of it for all you know, and the ugly package might have a nugget of gold. You don't know, but you're still gonna pick the pretty package. So in this little metaphor, example, whatever, the inside of the package is your music and the package is how you present it. It's your content, it's your branding, it's your anything from your logo to your colors to the videos that you make, everything.
Spend money on your presentation, which means your brand, because ultimately it's your brand that's going to sell you. The face you put out there online, that's what people are going to see, and that's how people are going to be attracted to what you do. It's not all about the music. It's not all about the content. It's about the overall picture. Invest in that image because that's really important, how you present yourself. Those are 5 tips on how to sell beats online. I feel like Ed Talenti did a really good job outlining that.
DECAP.